Oh.
Why do you say such snarky, hateful things?
Okay, I think that's a heresy. I can put the cookies on the shelf and tell my son, don't touch the cookies, but I know by his personality, I know what he's going to do. He's not going to obey, and I'm going to have to punish him. But I don't want him to take the cookies. It's not my will, but I just know that he will. It's not his will that my son take the cookies. It's not my will that he take the cookies. I just know that he probably will. This is not a topic I typically teach on and speak on. I spend many hours a month teaching on science in the Bible and creation. I'm not afraid of this topic, but I don't have all the answers to all the questions prepared. Usually I get PowerPoint all prepared. There's a great book on this topic by Peter Ruckman, Why I'm Not a Calvinist. He goes through all these verses and covers them in great detail. Your lip sync is way off. It's hard to follow what you're saying and listening. I didn't hear that last question. What now? Again, your lip sync is off, and it's hard for me to understand what you're saying there. Since you got saved at age 18, have you ever sinned since then?
I have made mistakes.
You have made mistakes. That was not my question. Have you sinned?
No, I have not sinned, no.
You've not sinned?
Christians don't sin, Brother Hovind.
Okay, have you ever told a lie since you were 18?
Not to my recollection.
Have you ever stolen anything?
No.
Never stolen anything, never lied?
Not since I was 18. Not that I can remember off the top of my head. I would tell you if I had.
Have you ever lusted after a woman you're not married to?
Yes.
Is that a sin?
If a person does not have the Holy Ghost, it is reckoned to them as a sin.
I can't understand what you're saying. It is wrecking ball what?
Reckoned to them as a sin.
It is reckoned to them as a sin. Well, Jesus said, if you look and lust, you committed adultery already in your heart.
Yes.
So have you committed adultery already in your heart since you were saved?
He said that to sinners, Brother Hovind.
We're all sinners.
Steve, I cannot understand what he's saying. His lip sync is way off. I don't know what you can do to fix all that. Okay, I get the feeling like he's avoiding and evading my question.
No, I'm trying not to.
Okay, so since you gave your heart to the Lord at age 18, you have never lied and you've never stolen anything, but you have lusted.
I have done several things that could be counted as sin.
That could be counted as sin. I feel like I'm talking to a lawyer here, trying to weasel his way out of the obvious. I was growing up in my dad's home. I tried to do right because I wanted Dad to say, well done. I valued his opinion. I wanted Dad to be proud of me. Not because I was afraid he'd throw me in hell if I didn't. He did have a paddle he knew how to use if he needed it, but most of the time he didn't need it because I wanted to please him. Most of the time God doesn't need to paddle me because I want to please him. But I'm shocked that you would say in front of God and everybody here that you haven't lied since you've been saved. I didn't hear it. Holier than what?
Sinners.
Please, somebody help me. I don't understand what he's saying. Please.
Holier than sinners.
Okay. Are you holier than me, Kent Hovind? Well, in my 54 years since I've been saved, I've lied. I've had to say, God, I'm sorry. I've stolen things. I've had to say, God, I'm sorry. But you've never done that. So when you lust after a woman, are you of the devil? I don't deserve to go to heaven. I don't deserve to live another minute. If you already preordained, though, God's already decided you're going to heaven, I don't understand how that can't lead to pride and egotistical and, I'm better than everybody else. It looks to me like that's what it's obviously leading to. Well, you answer this one first. You're trying to weasel out of it.
This one answers that one.
I can't listen to three people at once here. Do you want to come over and sit here and debate with me? Come on. Okay. Is your goal then to convert sinners or to steal other people's sheep from their flock and get them to believe like you? How many people have you led to the Lord? I mean sinners that you brought to Christ.
Probably a handful.
Okay. Is that what do you focus mostly on, though, converting people like me to believe like you? Who have you talked about the Lord in the last 3 weeks? Who have you witnessed to and tried to get them saved? Well, in the last 3 days, I've had 3 people I've led to the Lord over the phone, and I explain how to be saved, and it's sinners. So I think it's a slippery slope that you're on. The whole Calvinist doctrine. Do you believe John Calvin was right? Do you consider yourself a Calvinist? And Steve, I apologize. You told me about this, and I've been too busy to get slides ready for this. When I did my series two years ago, Why I'm Not a Jehovah's Witness, Why I'm Not a Calvinist, I've got those slides in here somewhere, but I've had 3 tours today. It's been really busy.
And in Pastor Hovind's defense, I literally called him last minute this morning and asked him if he would be willing to do this debate, and he accepted.
Those who believe they are predestined I find often have a holier than thou attitude and think they're going and you're not, too bad, I want to see everybody saved. I witness to people all the time. My business card has my plan of salvation on it. The little paper airplanes we make has the plan of salvation on it. The bookmarkers I make have the plan of salvation. I, for 54 years, have been trying to bring everybody I can into the kingdom. And I don't see how your doctrine you're trying to teach here can't destroy that zeal. Well, you're avoiding my question again. Okay, I think everybody sees that you are. Because when I was covering the topic, why I'm not a Calvinist, I collected all these verses. I bet I got 80,000 slides in my computer here. I'm trying to find it. So I can't find it quickly. Why I'm not a Calvinist. Can you find that, brother? No? Okay. Anyway, let's do this again another night. But go ahead for the other verses that you've got. For 54 years, God's been trying to make me like Jesus. He's been trying. He's having a tough time on a few areas, but he's trying. Sabrina, didn't I tell you that the other night? I said, you want Jesus in your heart? You might want to change some things. And you said, yeah. And you asked him to come in your heart, a week ago? Wish you would use PowerPoint. Put your slides up because I can't understand half your verbiage. Maybe it's my old age audio problem, but so put your passages together on Scripture, on PowerPoint, and put it up where I can read it. You have a napalm what? Your doctrine is going to make God look like a bad guy on Judgment Day. He's evil if he creates people directly to send them to hell and they cannot go to heaven. I didn't hear a word of that. Okay, Christian, I did not understand most of the words you said. God knew, I'm going to make a world, I'm going to make people. I don't want robots. He already had angels, apparently. It's holy, holy, holy. He wants people who want to love him and want to serve him. I don't want a slave. I want a wife. So God doesn't want people who have to serve him. He could have made robots. I had 3 children. I didn't want them to ever do anything wrong, but they all did. They all messed up for a time or two. And I bet you have too. So yes, I already decided when I had a child, this kid's I'm going to have to get diapers. They're going to wet their pants if I don't put diapers on them. I knew that ahead of time. I don't want them to. I tried to train them not to after they got, old enough. At Judgment Day, that's going to look really bad for God. I would not want to serve a God like that, who's already decided you can't come. Well, get PowerPoint for next time so that I can see. Have you built a ministry?
Yes.
Where's your ministry? Do you have a church? Do you have a Dinosaur Adventureland or something? What have you built? What are you doing? I didn't understand half of those words. What did you say? So the answer is no, you haven't built anything yet, but you're
I'm
going
building a house right now.
You're building a house. Oh.
Why do you say such snarky, hateful things?
That's not snarky and
That
hateful.
is very hateful to say that I haven't built anything.
I built 20 homes. I built lots of homes. I built lots of buildings. Okay?
I've built one, and I'm very proud of it, Brother Hovind.
What countries have you been to sharing the gospel?
So far, besides online, just America.
I didn't hear a word of that. So far, what?
America.
Just America? Okay. The idea that God's already decided certain people can't go to heaven, I just can't buy that. I'm sorry. I think that's heresy.
Would you have me tear those passages out?
Would we have an error of what? Steve, fix the audio. I am not understanding half of these words, okay? Joe, I'm listening to a speaker 50 feet away. Is that the problem? Can I get headphones or something? Whatever it is, I'm not understanding it. So give me a speaker right here by my face or something. The potter making vessels for honor and vessels for dishonor. I can take pottery and make a toilet, or I can make a vase and put flowers on the kitchen table. I didn't hear a word of that. Read a confidential what? What kind of mic do you have or something? Let's correct this, and I want headphones next time or something where I don't get any distraction. But it's again, you can take a piece of pottery, you can take pottery, clay, we got a bunch of it here, and make a toilet out of it. I'd say that would be a vessel unto dishonor. I would not want to be a toilet. And his copy on a verse, I didn't understand that. We've been praying. One of our witch doctors stood up and said, someday a white man will bring us the book to show us how to find the God that we lost. I'm sorry, Christian, I just cannot buy into what you're saying. It's going to squelch evangelism, in my opinion. It's going to make God look evil, in my opinion. God says, can't witness to that man. I give out tracts every day. I don't know what they do with it, but I did my duty. Here, sir, read this when you get to. You can even hate somebody and give them a tract. You can walk up and say, here's the gospel tract, tells you how to go to heaven. I hope you don't read it. I mean, you can hate somebody and give them the gospel.
Dr. Hovind is easy to love.
It's been years for me on that one also, back from Bible college, back when they first invented electricity. So I don't remember. Because a whole lot of people are sinning and God made them do it. That's evil. That's evil teaching. How do I reckon the fork of what? Did God predestine that? God created that for that reason? God wanted him to kill 6 million Jews and a bunch of other people? But if predestination is true, then God made Hitler do that. I haven't sinned in 40 years.
I agree.
I just lied. Okay. I'm going to have a brand new body when I get up there, not even capable of sinning. Not even capable. It's going to be wonderful. I don't want to be a party pooper, but it's 9:15. I'm old and I've a long day. I had to get up before breakfast. So we've had over an hour.
Why do you say such snarky, hateful things?